Hi everyone, good evening. We are from mPokket, India's one of the largest instant loan application. Myself, I am Hareesh and this is Sandip. So we want to speak about the powering lending with the data engineering. So in our economy, lending is the backbone, which is empowering individuals and the businesses. But the competition is fierce. The market is crowded with so many new lending players coming in. And with the increased complexity, right, with compliance demands from the RBI, as most of you in the fin space will be knowing. So the requirements will keep on changing. Suddenly you will have a requirement to push the data within 7 days, within 1 day. And there is huge amounts of data that we have to process. And there is a very high customer expectation that the customers wants the loan in few minutes. The moment they apply, they want the loan within few minutes. If they don't get, then they will go to another application and they will try there. And we have to process all this data within few seconds and then have to deliver the loan in within few minutes. So traditionally in the fintech space, right, there is a slow and manual process. You have to fill a lot of forms. And traditionally we used to rely on only the credit bureau scores. But we are creating a new segment, or we are the kind of a segment creators, right, where we have 10% of India's youth sitting on our platform. And we have disbursed more than 15,000 crore worth of loans. And we are also kind of, we can say that one of the, or the largest player in India who has given the maximum number of loans. And we are able to do all of this through the data engineering capabilities that we have. But let me speak about certain problems which are there with the historical approach. We are only relying on the credit bureaus, whereas most of the people that we are catering to, they don't have enough credit information to rely on. So we have to rely on alternate data sources, information on internet, and we have to process it with speed, so that we can remove this incorrect, inconsistent risk assessment, so the customers are not denied the loan. And the other problem with the traditional approaches is the high operational cost, and enough of the problems that I have highlighted. So now I would pass on to Sandip to speak about the data engineering solutions that we have.
So, on top of what Hareesh has just mentioned, that we have a lot of regulatory compliance, we have a lot of data silos, a lot of data to be processed, a lot of information to be shared. The customer's expectation is very fast and they need instant loans within a few minutes. So with all such things in place, the traditional method doesn't work out. We need to have an environment wherein we have all the data repositories together. There should be no data silos. You have the availability of alternate data sources. You need to have, on top of what Hareesh mentioned, mPocket's customer base, 50% of the customers are students. So as we talk about students, they would not have credit history. So with the unavailability of credit history, it becomes very important for us to have alternate data sources. Could be in any form you can think of. Maybe it's utility bills, maybe telco bills, maybe his expenses which he is doing in the online platforms, or other marketplaces from where you can leverage the data. As well from the demographic information of the customer, from where he belongs to, which region he is belonging to, and for example, if you have floods in some region, whether he would be able to pay back the money. So there are a lot of alternate data sources available in the market. With the help of those things, we need to gel or stitch all these things together to make a rich and robust profile of a customer, which essentially helps us to reduce the underwriting cost, which helps us to reduce our NPAs, which helps us to give more accurate predictions for our data science models. All these things together helps us to provide tailor-made products as well. Basis the credit history or basis the capability of the customer to pay back the money, we can provide tailor-made lending rates, tailor-made offers to the customers. Having such things in place, if we have a complete ecosystem together, stitched up together, a robust foundational data platform is very much required for the lending industry to work good. or a company to work good. So data engineering in the lending context is not like a data science team or a data analyst who would be wrangling around with the data or building data science models. We cannot exist in silo. Whatever the data we generate, that is definitely used by them. And they actually are the powerhouses. It's like data engineering is a pipeline. We build fuel pipelines and they are the actual drivers of the car. Data engineering helps to, you can say, make the data high quality, reliable data accessible to the downstream customers, be it for the reporting purposes, be it for analysts or data scientists as well. Now, as part of the data engineering components, as you all know that the first step is towards ingestion of the data. The ingestion of the data in the lending space could be not just the CIBIL or bureau score, but it could be unstructured data, structured data, maybe your Form 16s, maybe your ITR returns, bank statements, OCR informations. There are n number of data sources which are powering the lending. So all these things together, stitched together, and in a very limited amount of time, we need to have all these things scanned, processed, inferences derived, and basis that your data science models are powered, on top of which certain decisions are made, and then the lending process starts. Then the disbursement happens. So data ingestion plays a very vital role. You can have the data from various API sources like Udyam, you can have from maybe UN as well, or PAN or Aadhaar, all these things are linked together. On the data storage side, the type of data which you are going to use or type of data which you are going to process, it needs to be stored optimally. It could be a SQL database, or it could be a warehouse which is powered on SQL, or if it's unstructured, you can go for some other type of repositories. If it's warm and cold data, then we have data lakes and stuff wherein we can power the data. So all these things essentially ends up into being a cost. Now, since we have talked about unstructured data, so having said we have so many number of diverse type of data types, data which is going to come in, we need to have association or maybe leakages between all such things, so that you can derive certain inferences out of that. To do this, we'll have, we need to build a lot of data pipelines, which you can call as an ETL or ELT layers, which will help us to stitch all this data together. Governance and security in the lending space is the most important thing, I would say, because with the advent of DPDPA, Data Privacy Data Protection Act, the regulators have become so stringent that any information in any manner cannot go outside your system. It cannot be shared with anyone as well. You need to have all the data in your system hashed, and it should not be readable by others as well, in fact the teams as well. So there are a lot of regulatory constraints on top of it, which makes it even harder. Again, like for orchestration and monitoring, we have tools like Uzi and other, or if we have some COT solutions like Databricks or Snowflake, we have schedulers inbuilt. On the serving side, as I mentioned, like we can have Tableau, Cognos, or Power BI, any other tool which can be integrated for whatever the data is generated. It could be served as real-time or non-real-time reporting as well. So I'll walk through a couple of use cases, and apart from the slides as well, 1 or 2 use cases. So one of which is the enhanced risk assessment and underwriting. So again, like as I mentioned, the diverse data sources helps us to profile the customers even better. Having said the profile is richer, we are able to take proper decisions on the data points and give more accurate data to the machine learning and risk models, which leverages us with the information whether. So I was talking about a use case with respect to dialing system. So wherein I talked about, let's say you have customers based out pan-India and you have multiple regional languages. Not all the customers would be comfortable in English or Hindi, and you would need to give them a personalized touch. Basis the language which the customer understands. Let's say you have taken some information prior hand for the customer, and the data engineering team tries to build a couple of pipelines with respect to the customers coming into the platform, going across the journey and drops off at a particular stage. Now, you would like to definitely reach out to them. They could be a potential customer. And that is where you can extract multiple patterns of data from the data lake or from the data platform, and it can be sent to the dialing system for customized campaigns, customized communications as well. Now, let's say a customer has registered on mPokket or any lending platform, but he has not taken a loan. So, let's say you would like to make a welcome campaign, a welcome call. Or let's say if a customer has been overdue for quite some time, let's say his due date has passed and you would like to connect him basis the region, basis the type of customer, basis his preference, basis his earlier communication history as well. You try to get a lot of information prior hand, pass it on to the call center team. They try to build a customized communication and then they reach out to the customer that, hey boss, X or Y, Z amount is pending, would you like to clear it up? In the similar lines like dialer, you could have notification systems as well. Now, like as Hareesh mentioned, mPokket is on an annual basis, we lend roughly around 15,000 crore rupees. And it's in terms of number of loans, mPokket is the biggest lender in India. More than even SBI, the number of loans, not on the size of the ticket of loan, but on the number of loans. So in that context, the volume of data which we have is enormous. And let's say if we need to make email communications or SMS or in-app notification, or in the SMS or email as well, you want to have customized campaigns. In that case, traditional OLTP based systems or your existing applications would not work out. You need to have a robust data platform which can empower such use cases, wherein you need to send millions of SMS and millions of emails on a daily basis. Now, I'll go with the slides. In this use case, we are talking about faster loan origination and automation. So like in the initial section of the presentation, I mentioned about alternate data sources. Now, let's say a customer comes to the platform, he does some basic registration information and tries to go ahead in the journey. You just have less than 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, you would like whatever the documents he's uploading, you would like to verify them, validate them, then and there. Otherwise, if there is a delay, it is a potential loss and the customer will move out to other platforms if there is a delay. Secondly, if wrong informations are captured from the platform, like your decisions are incorrect, then in that case, it would be a loss to the company in terms of customer coming in the platform, taking the money and not coming back again. So in that case, a real-time data checks against the underwriting system, wherein you have built the profile of the customer with respect to alternate data sources, transactional data, or his behavioral data as well, like how he browses the app, what time he is looking at the app in the night, weekend, whether it's a festive season. There could be n number of parameters you can think of. So basis all these things, a behavioral profile is created for the customer. And on that, a real-time decisioning is made. At the end, if you have a robust data pipeline, this will help you to significantly reduce the cost and the overall processing time as well. And all of these things would result into customer satisfaction. The next use case is on fraud detection and prevention as well. So let's say customers have already taken the loan on mPokket and he is coming again for loans. Basis his past historic behavior, basis his current dynamics from the market data which is available or from bureau or from CIBIL or other alternate data sources, we try to build his profile. With those things, we are in better position to say that, okay, whether we should lend him further money or not, or what is the potential, his debt to income ratio, for example. How much should we lend him? What should be his upper limit? All these things can be defined. Now, let's say in the same journey, a person has paid the money and he again tries to take a loan, and due to certain system glitches, your underwriting system behaves abruptly, and in the meantime, he again applies for another loan. There are situations wherein it could lead to potential revenue losses. So such systems, such sort of behavior are also factored inside the real-time pipelines, wherein if any of such patterns happen, basis the previous behavior of multiple customers, the models have been trained to take care of such things. At the end, all of these things will help us to reduce the losses. In the previous slide itself, I have one more example, during the registration process as well, like when you register with ICICI, SDFC or any bank or any NBFCs, they would ask you to do KYC. Now there are very common names in India, Santosh Kumar, Ram Kumar, Shyam Kumar. There could be thousands of such people. How do you end up saving, let's say if I am Santosh Kumar and one more person is Santosh Kumar, I have used his PAN card or Aadhaar card and I have done these things. There are lots and lots of potential use cases wherein how do the intent of the customer, of the malicious or such activities or the fraud activities which are happening, how do you evade them? How do you stop them from doing such things? All these things can be factored with a proper and a robust data foundational layer and a proper data pipelines if you have in place. Now, these were a couple of the use cases with respect to fraud detection and all the others. Now, let's say if you have a big customer experience team and they frequently interact with customer, you need to have a customer 360 degree, wherein the complete details or whereabouts of the customer can be viewed. Now, with this event-driven architecture and such things coming in place, we end up making small databases across the systems, and then you have, again it results into data silos, wherein we need to bring them back into one single repository, and on top of that, further you need to enhance or enrich the data, and then you need to feed it to a platform which could serve as a customer 360 degree platform. From there, basis his behavioral journey or basis his lending journey with the institution, you can have a lot of personalized product offers and communications. You can have proactive customer support. Let's say basis the customer's previous behavior on the platform, he has taken the loan and he went to overdue. I mean, he has not paid the money on time. Later on he pays, and second time again he takes a loan. Now this time you are preemptively calling, okay boss, your due date is coming, when are you paying back the money? So proactive customer support, all these type of data sets can be extracted from data engineering pipelines and could be well served with the customer experience team for them to follow up with them. Or in fact it could be fed to a dialer system, and from the dialing system calls can be made, and the moment call lands on the customer, your customer 360 view of that particular customer is visible on the agent screen, who can further communicate. With all such things in place, definitely it would result into better portfolio health. Your NPAs are going to come down, your risks is coming down, your frauds are getting reduced. So inherently, your risk exposure comes down, and definitely it results into your better portfolio health. I'm sure many of you would be from fintech, so you would have faced regulatory bodies and reporting to bureaus wherein on a defined date and time, a huge amount of data needs to be shared with them. And these asks are very ad hoc. It could come on a Friday evening and it needs to be given in just a couple of hours. In such situations, if you have a customer 360 degree, if you have a proper data pipelines, data platform in place, and the capability to churn this volume of data quickly, then definitely all such use cases or all such problems can be easily addressed. Now that we have, in the lending space specifically, uh, we talked about a couple of use cases, and now there are a lot of challenges and considerations which we need to take care. First and foremost is data quality. I mean, data quality and security, these two are the fundamental pillars, without which it is very difficult. Your data quality, right from the first place wherein it arrives to our system, till the number of versions it has changed, and what all versions at what all times it has been reported to regulatory entities. All these things need to be captured and preserved for multiple years. Having said, if we have consistency in data and you're able to answer the questions of anyone or any person whosoever, like regulatory entity or even a customer asks, if you have the platform available, you have a data engineering platform available proper wherein you have robust foundational layers, these things can be very well achieved. On top of that, I would like to add one more point that all of you might be making payments online and you would be seeing settlements of 48 hours or 72 hours multiple times wherein the money has got deducted from your bank account but has not received on the customer side. And after a certain period of time, that transaction gets declined. Now, in such situations, when you portray this particular problem statement into a lending space, you have generated a loan document for the customer. You have said in that, okay, hey boss, your money is going to be credited soon. And fortunately, it ends up being declined. And due to any other system glitches, if it happens that your data gets corrupted or your data gets spoiled, at the end, it's very difficult to bring it back. In such cases, if you have a proper data quality or data assessment process in the pipeline, such things can be very well managed. I had talked about data privacy and compliance, which is with respect to Data Privacy Data Protection Act. Integration with the legacy systems, always you'll have multiple systems, old systems wherein you would be needing to bring those data or you need to send some information or maybe call some APIs and transfer some data. Scalability and performance requirement, having said foundational platforms are available and due diligence at the very stage has been put in, it becomes very easy. And the last two, like the cost of technology and skill talent, that's always there with any emerging systems and technologies. Now, in the future trends, I can talk about like increased demand for the real-time processing as and when more and more the more and more need for diverse sort of problem statements come in, or maybe with the evolving nature of business and the competitive stance in the market, it becomes, it is imperative that we need to have such things in place wherein we have the capability for real-time processing. Embedded AI ML within data pipelines, adoption of data mesh, focus on ethical AI wherein and bias mitigation and fairness wherein every customer is given the same treatment. Continued migration to cloud-native platforms. So, I mean, with the evolving nature of business and the pace at which we need to move out, it's very much required to have things on cloud, so it becomes easy a bit. Key takeaways and the concluding slide would be like data engineering, again, like is the foundational system. If you need to have a robust platform in place and you need to do all such things in place, then you need to have a system which is able to manage all your data requirements and data needs. And it should be capable to withstand the workloads, withstand the needs and the rapid changing demand which we have in the market that is being addressed. We can't keep on evolving or we can't keep on changing the data platforms. It needs to be faster, smarter and more efficient in the lending operations. Again, when we build such platforms, ingestion, storage, processing, governance, serving, all these things are very much essential stages of the data ingestion or the data engineering ecosystem. The more tangible benefits would be reduced risk, increased speed, better customer experience, and at the end, reduce the cost. Thank you. Any questions?